Hello everyone, welcome to Texture Myth. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important use case of GitHub Copilot, where I'll show you how you can create a program from scratch with multiple looping conditions. If you remember, in our previous session, we talked about a scenario where we used multiple conditional statement, right? But this time we are going to focus on the looping statement. We will see whether GitHub Copilot is working perfectly with looping statements or not. Okay, so we will proceed in the same way. Firstly, I'll show you how to write a perfect prompt according to the requirement, then what all information we need to mention in the prompt, and whatever output we will get as a Python program, how to review it or compile it. So these all things we are going to discuss in this particular session. But before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use GitHub Copilot to create a program from scratch with multiple looping conditions. Okay. Alright, and for that you can also refer the Texture Myth digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. There you will find more than 3600 plus sessions available in both Hindi as well as English language. So without any language barrier, you can easily consume the content. And if you have any question over there, so you can simply reach out to me through comment section. I would be more than happy to answer all your questions there. Okay. Alright, so let's get started. So what I'll do now, I'll firstly show you the prompt. Okay, so let me expand it, and here I'll just simply paste my prompt. Just give me a moment. Yeah, here is my prompt. So what this prompt is doing, you can see I have already 12 program created, so I'll create the 13th program with this prompt only. Okay, I'm not going to write a single line of code. I'll just use this prompt and it will do proper coding for me. So for any prompt, firstly you need to write the role of the model. Okay, so what role you want to assign here? So I want to assign a role of senior Python developer with 20 years of experience and act as a beginner friendly coder. Okay, so what it will do, it will act as a senior Python developer with 20 years of experience. After this, we will assign the task. So here I have assigned the task: generate 100% compilable Python program named as GHC13 loop demo. So this is the name of the program which I want to create through Python, through GitHub Copilot, and it should contain one function, that is demonstrate loops. Okay, so here I clearly mention my requirement that I want to create one program with the name GHC13 loop demo.py, and it should be with a function demonstrate loops. Now we will explain the scenario, like what is the scenario for our task. So scenario is quite simple: a school attendance system that uses different types of loop to mark attendance, count present student, print roll numbers, and generate a weekly attendance report. Okay, so this is the overall requirement which I want to fulfill through this program. Now for this scenario and this requirement, there are few condition and requirements. So one by one we will explain those conditions. So firstly, demonstrate all 4 loops type with the school data, like for loop, print each student name from a list; while loop, count absent student until limit reached; for loop with range to print all roll numbers from 1 to 10; and nested loop to print weekly attendance grid from 5 to 10 metric. Okay, then we have specified each loop must solve a real attendance and related problem. Okay, every loop must have a comment explaining what it is doing and why this loop type is used. So when it writes the program, so I want a proper comment on the logic, that why we have utilized this particular prompt and what is the reason behind using that particular loop. Okay, then next thing is print output of every loop with a clear heading. So we need an output of each logic with a clear heading there. Okay, so that is also a requirement. Use real school variable names like student name, roll number, attendance count, weekday, and so on. So according to the school vocabulary, variable name should be selected. Then use F string for all print statements. So while printing the information, use this thing. And then for 7th, final summary must show total student, its count, total present, its count, total absent count, and attendance rate with percentage with 2 decimal places. Okay, so this is the overall requirement. Then I'll show you the rules. So in case of rules, like what we have clearly mentioned that it must compile and run in a Python 3 without errors. At the top I want to include this thing so that it will handle all the symbolic representation. Okay, so if I'm using any kind of symbol in my script, so it will handle that. Okay, third rule says no external libraries, only built-in libraries are allowed. Clean indentation and comments on every block, main block inside if name main. Okay, use equal and hyphen for the table borders. So now what I'll do, I'll just simply press enter here, and now you will see within a few seconds it will evaluate my requirement, it will start processing the code, and within few seconds it will create a file for us including all the logics that demonstrate the requirement of school attendance system with all kind of looping statement. So it has started preparing the code. You can see line number is increasing. That means it is writing the lines of code. Once it is ready, it will ask us to either keep it or reject it. So you can see we have one option for undo. Like if you don't want to save the changes, you can click here. But if you want to change save the changes, you can click here on keep. So I'll just keep it for now. Also, it is asking me to execute this thing to verify whether it is working fine or not. So that I'll not need now. So I'll quickly manually show it. Okay. So you can see we have got this program. And how perfectly it is created, right? Everything is with proper comment. Like this is the list stores all student in one class and is used multiple attendance tasks. This list stores today's attendance as 1 present, 0 is absent for each student. Okay, then we have weekdays. So likewise it has explained everything. Okay, then we have for loop. So you can see for for loop it shows we use a for loop to visit each student name one by one from a list. This heading separates the second loop output from the others for better readability. Absent counting stopped at limit. This heading separates the third loop output. So likewise it has explained everything in our logic. So now what I'll do, I'll just simply execute this code directly here and see it has prepared the output. So what all things is there? For loop to print each student name. So one by one it prints all records, all student name with for loop. Then while loop to calculate the student attendance. So absent student is Kabir and Rohan. So 2. Okay. Then for loop with range to print roll number from 1 to 10. So it prints roll number 1 to 10. And then we have weekly reports. So there is a student number and day and days, and accordingly it prepared the report. Then final attendance summary is there with total students, total present, total absent, and attendance rate. That means it is working perfectly. So see how you can utilize GitHub Copilot to create a program from scratch, including multiple looping statement, and you can see it clearly understand your requirement. It perfectly create the required program, and also it is one-time compilable. That means there is no need to fix the issues, right? Because it knows the Python, it knows how to write the syntax and structure according to the latest version of Python, and accordingly it has created a logic for it. Okay, so always just one thing, always make sure to review your code. Okay, because sometime it might happen that it might generate a wrong output. So in that situation, always make sure to review your code, and if needed you can reprompt something, or if needed you can ask to recreate the program if something is wrong here. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So meanwhile you can do practice, and if you have any question you can reach out to me through comment section. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching TechSharemit.